and welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our brand new interactive die reveal wheel. I am so excited about this die. It is so much fun because it helps you create an interactive spinning card. So here you can see all you have to do is spin that wheel and it's going to change the sentiments up. We also have options for changing the colors of things or changing images. There's just so many fun things that you can do with it. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, Reveal Wheel has some fun coordinating products. So it has a coordinating stamp set called Reveal Wheel Sentiments. And it also has some really awesome add-on dies, including an add-on die for our new stamp set, Sweetest Flavor. And we're going to be showing that in an upcoming video. But today we're going to be focusing on the Reveal Wheel Sentiments, and the Speech Bubble add-on as well. So these are all of the pieces in the reveal wheel. We have our card front, we have our wheel base, a little arrow, and then also our window. What's really, really cool about this die is that it's got this puzzle piece section to it. So you can drop in different windows, which is so much fun. So you can really do so much with it. And you can see here that we have 3 different style windows. And yes, we will be coming out with more windows in the future too. So this is how you drop in your windows. It's just like a puzzle piece. You just drop it right in, just like that. And then what I like to do is just take a little piece of something like washi tape or some masking tape, and I like to just hold it right in place. Once my window is in securely, I can run it through my die cut machine, just like I would any other die. Once I've run that through, I can pop my card front out, and now I have a reveal wheel front with the window that I've selected, which is so awesome. Next, I'll pop my window out and I'm going to run that die through my die cut machine again to get a base piece that doesn't have a window. I've also got my wheel and my wheel base, a little brad, and some foam dots to create my reveal wheel. The wheel die has some embossed line details, and these embossed lines are going to help you set up your reveal wheel. There's also little gaps, and those are 1/8 of the way around a circle, and those could kind of help you line things up later on as well. The next step is to take your brad and you're going to put that through your wheel base. Then you're going to take your main wheel and you're going to put that brad through too. And you're going to have that embossed line detail there on the top. Then you're going to close the brad prongs and you're going to have your wheel base and your wheel. Now I'm going to take some foam squares here and I'm just going to put some around the brad, making sure they're not touching the brad, but so that there's some foam dots kind of supporting that brad. Then I'm going to remove all of those little backing pieces, and now is when we're going to use those embossed lines. So what you're going to do is you're going to look through your window, and when you're going to see your embossed lines, you're going to shift your wheel up until you don't see them anymore, and then you're going to shift your wheel in until you don't see them anymore on the right. Then you're going to line it up with your base. Now, I know those embossed lines are really hard to see on video. They're actually very easy to see on person, but on a video it's more difficult. So we went ahead and lined them in black so that it would be nice and easy to see. So here you can see I'm shifting that base up and then I'm shifting it in so I don't see those embossed lines, which are now black, just for you guys to be able to see them. So I'm shifting in and up, and now I don't see any of my embossed lines, so I'm ready to go to just put it onto the base there of my reveal wheel. So I'm going to push down, and those foam dots that we put on the back of the wheel are going to attach to the card base, and there you can see that wheel is already spinning. I would now pop my wheel off and I would just decorate it, and then I can pop it back on. And we're going to go through the decorating process later. Next, I'm going to add a bunch of foam squares to the base here of my reveal wheel. And those foam squares are the same height of the foam squares that I added on to the base of my wheel. And so I'm just going to put those all around. I like to kind of put them just supporting all the way around the wheel and also supporting that little notch that has the opening. I'll peel off all of those backing pieces and then take my front there that has the window and lay that right on top, and now I've created a spinning reveal wheel. Now, to use a different style of window that we have in those add-ons, all you have to do is the same exact thing. You're going to pop it into the puzzle piece there, hold it in place with your tape, and then run it through your die cut machine. What's so cool about the puzzle piece idea is that it's going to keep your window in the exact right place to line up with your wheel every time. No guesswork, and you don't have to think about it. You just pop that in, hold it in place, and run it through your die cut machine. Now our add-on ones for Sweetest Flavor and the Speech Bubble have these cute little frames that help you decorate, and we're going to be going over how to use those later. And one thing I love about that Sweetest Flavor, it means you can change the colors or the flavors of the ice cream, which is so much fun. Now, before we get into some card making, we're going to check out the Reveal Wheel Sentiment Set. And this has been sized to work with those different windows. So we have some really cool sentiments here. And we have Hope Your Day Is, and then you can fill in all of these different phrases. Extra cool, the best ever, super duper, really great, fun filled, and very happy. Then we have a really, and then a space, and then birthday, and then you are so, and then you can change all of the words. So we have amazing and terrific, magical, fabulous, super, and awesome. And you can see that those are arced to fit perfectly in our arced window. The stacked ones fit in the speech bubble and into the arced window. We also have wishing you a wonderful birthday as a sentiment. And then we've got some birthday related ones with happy birthday, all the best, many wishes, and enjoy your day. We also have just wanted to say hi and just wanted to say thank you. And then we have hello and thank you in different languages. So bear with me on some of these pronunciations. We have hello, salud, hola, ni hao, many thanks, danke schön, schön, muchas gracias. And we also have merci. We also have a phrase to go with this that says, I can't thank you enough, which I think is so cute with all of the languages spinning. And then we've got some little stamps that kind of work like our push here stamp set, and they say turn the wheel, they have an arrow, and so that lets the recipient know that their card is interactive. So now we're going to make our first card with Reveal Wheel. So I'm using some Watercolor Wishes paper, and I've cut my base without the window. And now I'm going to drop in the original Reveal Wheel window, and just use that puzzle piece to make sure that my window is in the exact right place. Then I'll be able to run that through my die cut machine and cut my piece with the window. We sized our Reveal Wheel to be a little bit smaller than a standard size card. It's 5 by 3 3/4, and that's so that you can put it onto a standard size card and have a really gorgeous 1/4-inch border going all of the way around, and you'll see that later. It really frames the Reveal Wheel so nicely. Now we've cut our wheel and our wheel base, but before we do anything, we're going to do our stamping on the front because it would be really hard to stamp on this once the Reveal Wheel was created. So I'm going to be stamping my two little messages there, which is have a really and then birthday. And then I'm going to be able to change the adjective in the middle, which is so much fun. So here you'll see I have all of my pieces ready, and we're going to start forming our Reveal Wheel. So I'm taking my little brad here and I'm going to put that through the wheel base, and then I'm going to add in my main wheel to that. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to flip it over and then add my foam dots to the back of the wheel base. I'll remove those backings, and then I'm going to take my wheel and line up those emboss lines. So I'm going to look through that top window there, and I'm going to shift my wheel up until I no longer see that emboss line. And then on the notch there, I'm going to shift that piece in until I no longer see the emboss line. And that's going to make my wheel be in the perfect placement. Then I'm going to push my card front down onto the base, and now my wheel is held in the perfect place, so it's time to start decorating it. I need to give myself a guide as to where to stamp my sentiments, so I'm going to use a pencil and make some light marks. Right now I'm making marks at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Right there you can see those. And we'll be erasing those later, so don't worry about those. Then we're going to line our window on top. We're going to take our wheel and spin it until we see our mark there showing up at about 3 o'clock, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and trace that window lightly with our pencil. So I'm just going to go all the way around like that. Then I'm going to take my wheel and I'm going to spin it until I see my next mark showing up at 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to trace my window. And then you guessed it, we're going to repeat it. So I'm going to move my wheel. There I've got my mark at 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to trace my window. And then I'm going to do that one more time. So I'm going to spin my wheel and then trace my window. And now you can see that I've got all these little marks that are going to help me stamp. Now, yes, you could eyeball this, but I'm not an eyeball kind of girl. I'm a ruler and pencil marks kind of girl, so I like to do it this way, but you guys could totally eyeball it, and I bet it would look awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp, and I'm going to choose my different sentiments. So I could choose some of those square sentiments, but in this case, I thought it would be fun to choose the arc sentiments to kind of match the window. I'm lining my wheel up, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiments into those little pencil lines that I drew. I'm going to spin my wheel and then stamp my next sentiment, just like that. And then I'll spin it again and stamp again. And this is just kind of helping me line it up, and you can see just how cute this window is turning out already. So I'm spinning it one more time and then stamping my fourth word. Now I'm going to take my eraser and erase all these pencil lines. Now I'm going to be leaving this wheel white just to keep it nice and clean and simple, but you could even do some coloring here with some watercolor or do some really fun things. Now, because my wheelbase has already been attached to the base of my card, I can just put my wheel back on and it's in the perfect placement. Then I'm going to take my foam squares and lay them all over the base of the card, and then take my window piece and lay that right on top. And now you can see that we have a cool spinning reveal wheel that is so much fun. I could seriously play with this all day. So now I want to keep decorating my reveal wheel. So I've die cut some cilantro cardstock with that same reveal wheel card front. And now I'm going to die cut a grassy border there to kind of have a grass line at the bottom that's going to match the stitching. I've taken out my new coaster critter set and I have colored and die cut a little roller coaster, a fox, and a little coaster car there. And I'm going to layer all of these pieces together. So I'm going to layer that cute little grass on there, and then I'm going to put my fox into his little car and attach him to the roller coaster. Next, we're going to add some foam dots to the back of the roller coaster, and we're going to layer that right onto the card. And then we're going to give the fox some balloons to go along with our birthday theme. Now, I wanted to give this card a little 1/8 inch border, so I'm creating a 5 1/4 by 4 inch card base, and then I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of my wheel and layer that right onto the card base. I'm using the little arrow die that comes in the set, and I'm going to die cut a little blue piece to match the sky of that arrow so that the recipient knows that they can spin the card. And now you can see just how fun this card is. I think it would make anyone smile, and they're really, really easy to make because they're just like decorating a normal card. You're just kind of changing the sentiment up a little bit. So I really, really love this. It's so much fun. So I think we just have to make another card. So next up, we're going to be making a card with the speech bubble add-on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our card base here without a window out of some Gotta Have Gingham paper. And then I'm going to pop in the speech bubble add-on window right there, just right into that puzzle piece, and then take my washi tape there to hold it in place. And then I'm going to run it through my die cut machine, and now I have my piece with the window. I'm also going to cut my wheel and my wheelbase out of some Watercolor Wishes pink paper that's just really, really pretty. Then I'll take my brad and I'll put it through my wheelbase and my wheel and add those little foam squares on the back. And then I'm going to line up my wheel with my window. I've created some pencil lines there so that you guys can see the embossed lines with me, since the embossed lines are hard to see in camera. And once again, I'm shifting that up and in so that I can't see my embossed lines, and then pushing it down onto my card base. So now we're going to do a similar idea as what we did in the first card, and we're making little marks at 12, 3, 6, and 9 so that they can be little guides so that we can trace our window onto the wheel. So there I'm going to trace my window, and then I'm going to move my wheel until I see my next mark showing up at 3 o'clock, and then I'll trace that window again. And I'll repeat that so that I have all 4 windows traced. So now that I've got all of my windows drawn, I've taken out some stamp sets. I've got a little heart there from my Sweet Friend stamp set. This is a brand new stamp set called Critter Concert. I'm going to use some music notes from that, and then I'm going to use some sentiments from my Reveal Wheel sentiment. So I love that you can mix and match images and words. You can use different stamp sets to really make this your own. So I've stamped the 2 words, and then now I'm going to stamp some music notes to go along with my cute little critters playing instruments. So there I've got some music notes, and then to change it up a little bit, I'm going to have some music notes and a cute little heart as well. I'll erase all of my pencil marks, and then because we already set the wheel up, all we have to do is just pop that wheel back on to the base right through that brad and just close that brad. Now to decorate the front of my card, I'm going to die cut the little speech bubble frame that comes in the add-on die set, and then we're just going to add that with some glue right to the outside of our window. I've added some foam squares to the card base, and we'll layer our window right on top, and now we've got our cute little changing sentiments. I want to create a ground for the critters to stand on, so we're going to die cut here some Watercolor Wishes paper using that Reveal Wheel card front base without the window in it, and then I'm just going to trim it off to be a little ground, and then I'm going to stamp the Just a Little Note to Say that comes in the Critter Concert stamp set, and then I'm going to layer that right onto the bottom. Then I've got all my cute little characters there, and so I'm just going to add some foam squares to the back of them and then decorate my card. And you can see how quickly this card is coming together, but because of that interactive element, it really is going to wow the recipient. So now I'm going to create a standard size card base at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to use some white cardstock to match the white speech bubble frame that we added on there. And we're going to add that right onto our card. Now I want to use my reveal wheel sentiments to stamp a little turn me with the arrow. So I'm just creating some pencil marks there to guide me because I was worried if I stamped with the card front on there that I would end up smearing ink on it, which is something I do a lot. So I just made some little pencil marks and then I'm just erasing them. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my whole reveal wheel and then layer that onto the card. And there you can see just how cute it is. It makes me smile every time seeing all of those cute little music notes and then the sentiments. It's just so sweet, and I love the idea of having a different colored reveal wheel part too. That pink wheel is just so cute. So now I thought it would be fun to make a reveal wheel with my very favorite stamp set, which is Upon a Star, and also with some fun inking techniques. Right here, I've got my Upon a Star, and I've also got my Reveal Wheel sentiments. And there's this sentiment in Reveal Wheel that says, wishing you a wonderful birthday. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually cutting apart my stamps. I'm going to cut out the wonderful because I'm going to instead change the little adjective there with the Reveal Wheel. So it's saying, wishing you and then blank birthday. And I thought the wishing went really well with the whole star theme we're going to have with this card. So I'm going to do some heat embossing. So I'm going to stamp my two sentiments there in some Versamark ink, and then I'm going to use some silver heat embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle that right over my card, and then I'll heat it with my heat tool and have this beautiful shiny silvery sentiment that's going to really go along with my night sky. Once that's all heat embossed, I'm going to take the stars from Upon a Star and just kind of lay them around my card how I think it might look nice. And then I'm going to pick up all of those stamps with my Misty tool so that I can stamp them all at once. And once again, I'm going to be stamping in some Versamark ink, but this time I'm actually going to be using some white heat embossing powder, and we're going to do some emboss resist technique. So we're going to put the white on there and then put our distress inks over, and that white heat embossing is going to show through. I've taken some Noble Fir Cardstock and I've die cut it with a simple stitched hillside border. And then I'm going to take my reveal wheel card front piece and I'm just going to layer that over it so that I can die cut it to match the bottom of my card perfectly. Now that I've got my hill all cut out, it's time to get inky. So I'm going to take out my distress inks in Broken China, Wilted Violet, Blueprint Sketch, and Black Soot. And I'm going to bring these colors on to create kind of a starry galaxy-ish sky. So this is my Broken China color, and you'll see that I'm kind of going from like three different edges in towards the middle with each color. So there's the purple and then the blue. And then I'm going to go back and forth between the colors, blending the edges so that it's kind of a seamless look. I'm also bringing more and more color on to make it darker and darker. Now, the real magic to creating a night sky, because I'm always like, gosh, it doesn't look right. But once you put the black ink on there, it really kind of makes all of the colors pop and makes it look really, really cool. So I put my black ink on and then I'm adding just a little bit more black ink just to kind of make it look even more night sky. And then I'm just taking a dry cloth and I'm rubbing off all of my heat embossing powder just to take off any excess ink that might be on there. And you can see the white of the stars just really pop. It looks really beautiful. Now I'm going to take some gold paints here and I'm going to put some water onto an acrylic block, and then I'm going to take some of that paint with my water there, just pick up some of that gold paint, and I'm going to mix it onto the block and then flick it off of the block to kind of create these gold stars onto my card. Now, I have to admit, I always get a little nervous with things like splattering because it seems so unpredictable, but then I always end up liking it in the end. So, this is really fun for me to get kind of inky and do splatters because it's not something that I normally do. Now, I wanted some larger size stars, so I just kind of started dabbing my paintbrush onto the card, and then I kept adding more splatters and going back and forth until I kind of liked the final look of it. We're going to add the hill on and then add our cute little characters from Upon a Star with some foam squares. I decided to use the small ones because I thought it looked really cute with the tiny little guys looking up at this big night sky. Now that we have that all decorated, I'm going to cut my base out of some black licorice cardstock, and then I'm going to cut my wheel out of some white cardstock because I really wanted the wheel part to pop in that kind of cool inky sky. So I'll take my brad and put it through my wheel base and then my wheel, and then I'm going to go ahead and spread out those prongs and then add my foam squares to the back of that wheel. I'm going to line up my wheel using those emboss lines as a guide. So I'm going to look through my window and make sure I can't see those emboss lines. So I'm going to shift my wheel up so I can't see the emboss line in the window, and then shift my wheel in so I can't see it at the notch on the right side. And then I'm going to stick it down to my card base. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing that I did for the other cards. So I'm going to be making those marks at 12, 3, 6, and 9, and then tracing my window again. Once I have all of my windows traced, I can go ahead and do my stamping just like we've done before, and then erase any of those pencil marks. Then I can add my wheel back onto the base. Then I'm going to add some foam squares onto that base, and then layer my fun galaxy sky right on top. Now I'm going to be using some blue Jay cardstock, and I'm going to do it at 5¼ by 4 inches. So I'll have a nice little skinny 1/8 inch border around my card. And then I've added some foam tape to the back of my reveal wheel, and I'm going to layer that right onto my card. I've also used the die of the arrow that's included in the reveal wheel set, and I've die cut it from some black cardstock so that the recipient knows to spin the wheel. And now you can see just how cute and fun this is. I just love seeing those words move through the sky. It really is magical and so much fun. And then here is a look at the 3 different reveal wheels that we made today. I love that it can work with any stamp set, and they're really fun to create, and I think they would just make someone smile. And so now I have to show you what the design team has been up to because they have the greatest cards. First up, we have Elena, and her card is just gorgeous. I love the coaster critters and the beautiful colors that she created in that fun spinning sentiment at the top. Kristen got super creative and she created a 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish card. So the fish change in there, and I love the Dr. Seuss theme. This card by Lynette is so sweet. I love that the little farm critters are saying, "Hope your day is super duper." And then I love this card by Yanea and how it's going to change between all of the different phrases of hello, like hola and salute. Then here we have a gorgeous card by Elise, and she created a really fun scene with our You Are Sublime set, and I love that the little scuba diver has his speech bubble, and he's going to change all of his different types of ways of saying hello, which is just so sweet. Now here we have a gorgeous card by Kay that is with the sweetest flavor add-on, and here you can see how she's going to be changing the flavor of her ice cream, which is just so awesome. Audrey created a little video for us so that we could see her sweetest flavor card changing. So there you can see the cute little smiley faces she has in there. The smiley faces change, the sprinkles change, and the flavor of the ice cream changes. And it is just so cute and so much fun. Here you can see another fun sweetest flavor card by Lizzie, and she used our really rainbow paper to change the flavor in the ice cream. So the paper is changing colors, and it's just so beautiful and so much fun. Shari got super creative and laid our new little submarine over the reveal wheel so that you could see cute little faces changing in the windows. It is so clever and so much fun. And I absolutely adore Melissa's card. It's so cute seeing all of those different thank you phrases move through the sky with that adorable rainbow shooting star. And then I also love Nicole's gorgeous sweetest flavor card. Look at that fun Neapolitan watercolor look she has going on. It's absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to see what you guys create with Reveal Wheel, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!